What's going on, good people? We are back
You
for
stole
a.
that from me. Shame on you.
I did. I did. I'm not even ashamed. I don't feel bad at all. Not at all. Um, we're back for a quick news video. Everyone's been talking about this, so it's not really breaking news, but we wanted to kind of come on and talk about it a little bit. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're on Facebook Live, if you're watching from Facebook Live, just hit the link, go to the page, like the page, check out the stuff on there. Got that out of the way.
Also,
Uh,
just for a reason why, because we bring you stuff like this. Duh.
I mean, that should have been obvious.
I mean, if you're watching the video, you obviously like it already. That's how it works.
It should have been obvious. So I don't know why we had to tell them that. That was
Well,
anyway.
well, it should be obvious that you just subscribe when you go to a channel. But
For this man, don't know how to shut up right now. Like,
hey, you know what? You shut your mouth when you talk to anyone ever.
anyway, so last night was AAA had their Triple Mania pay-per-view thing, and Rosemary was making her debut in AAA, which was pretty cool. She had a match. I think it was a triple threat, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who the third person was, or however many people were in the match, but the two main people were her and Sexy Star. So the end of the match, basically, Sexy Star got Rosemary into an armbar and intentionally injured her, basically going into business for herself. I know that from all the reports and everything, there was a lot of tension at the show and backstage and everything. And throughout the match, there were a lot of, stiff shots and, a lot of shoots and stuff like that. So they were actually trying to, injure each other. But she actually, ended up dislocating Rosemary's shoulder or elbow. Luckily, from the reports I heard, they were able to pop it back in, and she shouldn't miss too much ring time, if at all. But it's just the fact that, somebody like Sexy Star, who is a kind of a veteran in wrestling, especially in Mexico, Lucha Underground, we really liked her there. The fact that she would kind of go into business for herself and intentionally injure somebody, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, at least for me. I'm sure for DJ too. Especially with, even if you're not a huge fan of Rosemary, just imagine if it was, your favorite wrestler that somebody did that to. Not only does it hurt that person specifically, it hurts the fans, it hurts the business. It's just not a good thing. It doesn't look good at all. Any initial thoughts, DJ, before we kind of get into like the tweets and stuff and all
Yeah,
the.
I guess as far as my initial thoughts, first off, I actually just sent a tweet out as well to Rabbit because this is kind of one of the things I think you and I kind of debate and argue with him all the time. Um, and stuff like this is the reason why fans that say if you're in, a mainstream wrestling company, you shouldn't be wrestling on the indies because of the unprofessionalism, because of there's not as much protection that you can have on the wrestlers while they're at that other show. And Rabbit has been very firm in his stance of saying basically, mainstream wrestling. So TNA, I would say, I guess GFW and WWE is professional wrestling where everybody else is below. And I can understand now because I think we've always had this debate with him, but I can definitely understand now why he feels the way he does. And he says, hey, they shouldn't be going on the indies. The indie people aren't ready, and we look at that and we take it as hyperbole. We take it as extreme, like this exaggeration and it's crazy. And, why would he ever say that? But This is the reason why he says stuff like this. Don't get me wrong, Sexy Star is not a rookie by any stretch of the imagination. And Sexy Star has had her fair share of TV time as well on Lucha Underground. But, and also, I really like Sexy Star, but for her to go this far, like I understand emotions and I understand even shoot wrestling at times in matches or even something happening backstage, but to let it happen in that match during, you know, in the ring when you're supposed to be at your utmost professional, that's when it shouldn't happen. Now, if shoot wrestling is something that you can do to make the match look better, feel free. That's up to you. But this to me is unacceptable in any company ever, regardless of if you're mainstream, if you're indies, if you just started your freaking company yesterday. This is unacceptable, and I think Sexy Star should definitely be reprimanded for it, like in some form or fashion. They could take her pay away. I don't know if they can really do that legally, but they could. I mean, there's a lot of these indie wrestlers that don't even get paid, so like, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think she should be punished in some way. Take her, maybe take her. I don't know if they can take her her merch sales or nothing from her or something. Like you got, like I feel like something has to be done. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, shoot wrestling has been, in shoot fighting and just in general in the wrestling business has been something that's happened all the time, and people have gotten injured from doing it. But like, I think it goes to a completely different level when you go and you injure someone on purpose. You injure someone, you know, you get, like you said, go into business for yourself. Because you never know what could be running around. Like, I mean, Sexy Star, as good as she is, could be just jealous of Rosemary because she's been able, you know, regardless of what anybody thinks of TNA, GFW, Impact Wrestling, whatever, they're still on TV every single week. And Sexy Star could be jealous of that, you know. And this also, another thing, this could hurt Sexy Star because AAA, and we talked about this before in the GFW reviews when we kind of talk about GFW anyway. AAA is actually working with GFW, so that could have been her a good chance for her to show Rosemary, hey, you know, this is what I can do. I'm really good. You know, maybe you can help me out and maybe put my name out there for them. But I guarantee you, Rosemary's not going to put her, you know, not going to put Sexy Star's name, in the ear of these different scouts and stuff like that Impact has, because now, because of this intentional injury, it shows unprofessionalism. And no wrestling company, especially those who are on TV every week, want their wrestlers to be injured and then they have to rewrite storylines. And now, you know, Rosemary, and I heard it wasn't too bad. It wasn't that bad from the report that I actually read. But I just think, you know, it's unfortunate to me. Like I just feel like it's ridiculous. It's something that shouldn't be happening. And I guess we'll probably talk about that more when we get into the tweets. But like that's why there is this argument of WWE wrestlers should not be on the indies. There are certain fans that say that, and this is the reason why. This is the main reason why.
Yeah, but I mean, going on that a little bit, I think, you know, even there's been, you know, shoots in WWE, there's been shoots in TNA where people have, you know, actually tried to hurt other people. So I wouldn't even say it's just in the independents. Obviously, it's not as much in, you know, WWE because, you know, or in TNA because you'll straight up probably get fired depending on who you do something to, or it's just, you know, I mean, one that comes to mind is, you know, Hardcore Holly. I've heard a couple reports of some people that he's, you know, the one Tough Enough kid that he beat up. And there was, I think it was in a match too.
Who was that?
One of the Tough Enough contestants. But you know, it happens in all promotions, you know, from the indies to WWE. But there's, you know, if you're trying to, you know, put a little bit of respect into somebody, hitting, you know, giving them one or two good shots that's okay, you know. But when you intentionally, you know, dislocate somebody's elbow, or, you know, seriously injure them, that's not okay. That's not acceptable. And what worries me about it is that I don't think, because, you know, we've heard all the issues that different wrestlers have with AAA. Um, you know, there's been a lot that either have worked with AAA through Lucha Underground, or just specifically work with, you know, AAA themselves. So that worries me too. Like, are they going to do anything, or are they just going to turn a blind eye to it? You know, but there were a couple tweets that I kind of pasted here on the YouTube video. If you are on Facebook Live, unfortunately you can't see it. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see them, but I will kind of read them a little bit. Lenny Leonard, who works for WWN, World Wrestling Network, he said, basically, your first job as a professional wrestler is to protect the person that you're wrestling, who is putting trust in you with their body. And to do that, to injure them purposely, I didn't put the full tweet because he did 2 tweets, is, you know, basically completely unprofessional and not okay. And then Andre Corbeil actually tweeted out the video, and Will Ospreay retweeted saying it was very unprofessional and that he is legit pissed off about it. Sorry about the language if there's little kids. And then Allie from Impact, who actually works with Rosemary a lot, you know, said, you know, if you deliberately hurt or shoot on someone in the ring, someone that is trusting you with their body, you don't belong in our business. So those are just 3 tweets that I specifically saw that I really thought, you know, should be kind of shared. I know I retweeted them on our ICWP account, so if you want to go retweet them as well. It's just, it kind of sucks because obviously, you know, before this, we were both, me and DJ, liked Sexy Star, and I heard there was an apology. There was a report out that I guess there was an apology after the match, whatever. But still, it's just unacceptable. Any other thoughts, DJ? I don't even really know what to say. It's like, it's just, I don't know.
I think it definitely like makes me think about Sexy Star a little bit differently. Because I mean, I really liked her when she was in Lucha Underground. It just makes you look at them a different way. Like I'm sure she'll probably look back at this and kind of be like, that was dumb of me. But I don't know. I think it's definitely unfortunate and shouldn't happen. You know, like Ospreay said, and I think pretty much everyone hit it, that it's unprofessional. You're out there to be a professional wrestler, and the main thing there is professional as well. And you know, and I think it's one of those things that we don't always think about. You know, we get into the match and we start kind of watching the match, and we forget that how much is on the line for these guys. And I would even say for those who are like dead set against wrestling and dead set against you know, wrestling and what it is to so many fans, in the same way, you know, they should kind of think about it too. Like there's so much at stake for these wrestlers. You know, unlike in anything else that is scripted. So
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think that's kind of enough to be talking about this. We don't want to, you know, get too much into it and then, you know, go off on debates and tangents and all that. We just kind of wanted to come on and talk about it, give our thoughts, and you know, hopefully Rosemary is okay. Hopefully, you know, the elbow isn't injured too bad. Like I said, I heard it wasn't too bad, so hopefully she'll be able to get right back in the ring. But it's just, it's unfortunate that people would do this. It's, you know, at the end of the day, it's yeah, I get that, you know, you want to keep your spot, and, you know, you want to get, you know, because Sexy Star is a big star and she kind of wants to keep that spot and, you know, not have any, you know, her pay taken away by somebody else coming up. But to intentionally injure somebody and potentially take money out of their pocket, having them not be able to wrestle, that's just not okay. But anyway, like we said before, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave comments, let us know what you think.
Also, I got another point real quick. Not on this. It's just on overall. For more news and rumors, check out the weekly show.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the ICWP episode 4 coming up this coming Friday. So get excited for that. It's exciting. It is. I'm sure we'll somehow talk about this at that too, but we kind of wanted to get it out as quickly as possible to talk about it. And I wanted to get Amy and Miley on here, but I know Amy's working and I don't know what Miley's doing, because I kind of wanted to get their thoughts on it, because I know Amy specifically is really supportive of women's wrestling. So maybe even if she can't get on Friday, I'll ask her, you know, her thoughts and then share with you guys.
You should do a phone interview. Do it.
Bruh, she a cop. She can't be on the phone. That's not how that works.
What do you mean she can't be on the phone?
You
don't have to do it when she's on the clock.
I mean,
so what? Oh, okay, so you're saying cops just can't talk on the phone at all, ever? Because that's the way you put that.
What I'm saying is, when she's not working, you're working, and when you're not working, she's working. So how we gonna make that work?
That's what I just said. I just said do a phone interview about this topic. We could put it in the video. We could play it for the people.
I mean, we could try that. We could try that. You do
help you out. You out here coming at me.
You do remember that we not the best with the technologies all the time, though.
Yeah, you not with your terrible phone that cuts off on Facebook. Anyway,
it took you like 3 months to figure out how to use XSplit, and you still don't know how to use it right. Shut up.
I do a pretty good job, actually. Who doesn't have XSplit on their computer, Casey? Huh? You.
Anyway.
It's always like this. You want more.
This is why you tune in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. We start on one topic, then we fight about something random, and then we get back on topic, and then we end with some randomness. But yeah, we will see you on the Flippity Dippity. Make sure to tune in to all the videos this week. Every single one. We got NXT. We got 205 Live. We got the Mae Young Classic. We got TNA. We got the ICWP episode 4. We got stuff and things and other stuff. We were going to have a No Mercy 2000 video that Justin wanted to do, and then we never did it, and he probably mad.
You know what? That's about right. Anything involving Justin, just don't get your hopes up for it, because he probably won't show up.
But we didn't show up is the thing.
He didn't tell us when it was. Or when he wanted to do it. Did he?
He did.
When?
It was the other day. He was like, "You want to do it tomorrow?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I forgot.
Well, somebody should have reminded me, because I surely didn't see that.
Anyway, we will see you on the Flippity Dippity. Bye.